Hey, what's happening, guys? Figured we'd do a kit build today. And for that kit, I've got this LED watch kit that Uncle Rob sent maybe a year or so ago. I just haven't gotten around to building it yet. So figured, why not? Why not today? Why isn't today the day? Maybe it is. We'll see. Just keep these ICs safe here. Looks like a relatively low parts count. Okay, installation instructions. Resistor, crystal, capacitor. 1302. Battery buckle. Switches. Yeah, there's really not much going on. So let's see what we got in the components kit, huh? While I'm getting them out, I'll tell you one thing. It has been wet for about 5 days. It's just wet here. Alright, there's our circuit board. And she's got one IC labeled there. One IC labeled there. Capacitor goes there. Oh. Those little tiny resistors? Because the shape of them makes me think they're little tiny inductors. I mean, look. See how they got that indentation in the middle there? Now we'll find out who you really are. These are 10K resistors. Where's that light at? There we go. Resistor, 10K. Let's drop them. Let's see what else we got there. These are not Nixie tubes as they have labeled them. These are just 7-segment LED. Yeah, a couple capacitors, a couple switches. Not too whole much going on. So we got the 1302. Goes there. Crystal. Goes up here. Well, let's start with the small components first. Get these little resistors in. Tell you a story about my ongoing feud with the neighbors. Now, for those of you who don't know, I inherited my parents' home, which is where I live now. And it is the house I grew up in, but I haven't lived in this house since I was 18 years old. But now it's mine and I live here again. And there's a house next door. The family there. I mean, I know the family pretty well. They've always seemed like okay folks, yeah. But when their oldest kid came old enough to drive, he became a junk collector. And now he's doing it as a business and using not their yard, which if they're using their yard, there's nothing I could say about it other than, you know, this area's not zoned for it, but just dumping his trash and stuff in the alley between our properties. And I've complained to the city, I've complained to the county and to the state, and, you know, nothing goes on. So, you know, needless to say, I'm a little salty over this mess. And they know it. And I don't care. Another 10K goes over here. So anyway, occasionally we shout back and forth at each other. Not proud of it, but it happens. And this past Sunday, my friend was over. We were just hanging out, playing guitar, and he brought his dogs, and one of his dogs got into their yard, and immediately I told him to go get his dog. That was not my yard, that was their yard, and blah, blah, blah. They were not happy. And somebody shouted something to me. I shouted something back at them. Again, not proud of it. It was, what I shouted back was vulgar. Let's just say that. I wasn't friendly. Went in the house, didn't think anything of it. 10 minutes later, there's a knock on my door. I thought, the parents are here to yell at me about something. No, it wasn't the parents. It was, in fact, the local constabulary, TPD, Toronto Police Department. So they had called the police on me. And I asked the officer, who I know very well, I'm like, so what are you doing? He told me that blah, 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 they called the cops on you. And all this stuff. And I'm like, so what? I'm like, why are you here? He's like, well, they called the cops on you. You know, we have to investigate. I'm like, investigate what? I'm like totally not understanding why they even came. You know what I mean? No crime was committed. I was exercising my First Amendment rights, just as they were when they chose to engage me. So, of course, nothing came of it, but makes you think, you know, this country ain't what it once was, where you can pretty much say what you wanted. And like I said, it was no big deal. Nothing came of it, but just the fact that you can call the police because somebody said something to me I didn't like. Wow. So that's my little story. That's all I'll say of it. I was shocked. Okay. So, what should we put in next? Switches, maybe? This will be a neat little watch if it works. And I have absolutely no idea whether it'll work or not. Rats. Usually these switches go in really easy. One of the simplest components to get seated, but that one just wanted to be disagreeable, shall we say. Get this nice and soldered in here, and we'll go do the other side. Now this has been a relatively simple soldering project. This is like something I could easily recommend for a first or second project. Learning how to solder. Nothing here has been difficult to solder at all. One moment. That took me an embarrassingly long time to get in the holes. Good thing you didn't have to watch that. I'm losing my touch or something. So those of you who are NFL fans, were you pleased or displeased with your team's performance in the draft this past weekend? Now we need this 104 ceramic. This is a nice little board. Like I said, very, very easy to solder. I haven't had any trouble at all. And I tell you, you show up somewhere wearing this, you have you've definitely cemented your geek status. See this joint here? This one in the back? That's no good. So what we're going to do, we're just going to reflow it until it looks more it's more uniform, more Hershey Kiss-like. Much better. These need demagnetized. At this rate, at this age, I probably need demagnetized. Okay, that leaves the ICs and the LED. Let's do the ICs next. Here's the 1302, which was totally off screen. Sorry about that. Uh-oh. I jumped right out of my hands. Yeah. We need a little squishiness there. Hang on. Zooming out. Zooming up. The old magical IC leg straightener. Drop it in there. Put that in. Give it a little squeezy squeeze. And now everything should line up much better. There we go. Very nice. And I'm just going to get a tack there and a tack there. Now it's not going anywhere. And we can come in and get a better view. If you wonder why my hands don't look very steady when I'm doing this, it's that the camera is about 2 inches over top of what I'm soldering, and I have to do this through the screen, so I have no depth perception. Can't tell when I'm about to touch, so it's a little awkward. Now I want to look at this. Okay. I just wanted to get a close-up look at these pins. See what I was doing there. That yellow on green makes things just a little bit difficult. Just going to put the crystal in last. But since I was soldering on this V, I want to make sure it's going to actually still fit, and it is. And I'm going to fold it down like that. We'll get it soldered in. Oh. See, I can tell by wiggling that it is not soldered. So what I'm going to do, clean my iron, make sure I start with a nice clean iron. Put just a touch of solder on the tip of it. Then we're going to get in there. Yeah, I know there's a bridge there. I believe those two components are bridged anyway, but just to be sure, we'll clean that up. 1 second. A little bit of solder wick in there. We cleaned it up real nice. Okay, we've got one more IC, this and the assembly, and I think we will save them for the next part. Okay, that's enough for today. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, Give me a thumbs up. Feel free to comment, share, and don't forget to subscribe. Big thanks to all the patrons. Big thanks to you guys for watching. That's it. I'm out. Peace.